Welcome to the first installment of the weekly video power rankings. This is the first I'm doing it this way. I apologize for the low production value. And again, I just want to say before we get started, this is just my opinion. It's not meant to hurt any feelings. Everybody should be taken with a grain of salt. It's just for fun. Let's get into it. The power rankings. See where you stand. The power rankings. Yeah. Coming in at number 10 this week is going to be the Mastodactyls. Great win last week. Should have actually had you at 9, so this should actually be a down one. Coming back at 10, you definitely have the lowest point scoring total out there. Another loss this week. Not only are you last in the power rankings, you're last in the standings. Good news is everybody's kind of bunched up still, so nobody's out of it. String a couple wins together, you'll be right back in contention for a playoff bye. All right. Coming in number 9 this week is the 702 Steelers. Now this team actually should have been last week. I goofed up on that, so I'm going to count this as up 1. Big win over my team, Crimea Rivers. Put together the wins. Didn't leave a whole bunch of points on the bench. The wide receivers are stacked on this team. Great week. Definitely had the big scoring games work in your favor. Good win. Let's see if you can string together another one next week. Down 3 spots this week is going to be Team Juju. It pains me to say it. That's my dad. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm pulling for you. Truth of the matter is, we lost 2 in a row, averaging only about 120 points over that time period. Good news is you're still holding on to the 5th spot, which isn't bad. 2-2 for not having your first overall pick on the team is actually really great. I don't know how any of us would have been able to manage that without it. And a little bit more good news. League sources just informed me that Le'Veon Bell will be reporting to camp, or I shouldn't say camp, will be reporting to practice. Looks like week 7, the bye week for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you should be able to put him in your roster hopefully by week 8 if everything goes well. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. Just hang on. Always seems like you're right there at the end. So we'll see what happens. But this week, sorry, down 3. In the 7 position, we have Modus Operandi. Big win, over 200 points scored. This is kind of what I was getting at with my comment last week. This team, they can go off at any moment. They're incredibly scary when they get it all together, but they're not always going to get it together. So this team will knock you out, put up 200 points on any given week. You got to watch out for them. Very scary. I just hope that I'm not playing them the next time they go off. Great win again. Up and right back in this thing. Holding at the 6th spot this week is going to be the Monka Monsters. Now, you would think with a win that they should be moving up, and maybe, but I did have them ranked ahead of their standings last week because I kind of saw something like this coming. They're a strong team when they're healthy. When they've got everybody going, they can click, put up 180 on you with no problem. Now, here's the problem that Monka Monsters is going to have moving forward. Just found out today, Leonard Fournette, their top RB, is going to be out indefinitely with that hamstring. We don't know what's going to happen. They should have Joe Mixon coming back soon. And Kerryon Johnson looks like he's turning into a legitimate RB2, maybe even RB1. I don't know. He looks good. I don't really trust that running game over in Detroit. But carry on. Up 2 spots in the number 5 position this week is going to be the Dragon Masters. Another big win. That's 2 weeks in a row where this team is coming out of the basement, pulling off upsets. They've made great waiver wire moves, a couple of big trades. Getting Alex Collins on the team was a good move. So this is a much improved team over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully we can keep that going for this team up into the bye weeks. But right now looking very strong, holding on to that 6th spot, which is a playoff bye. Keep you out of that pink shirt game. I think it's a bad trophy game this year. Anyway, much better than last year already. Down 2 spots this week. Sad to say, Crimea Rivers. That's going to be my team. This is kind of what I was alluding to with my note last week. The team's very strong. I feel the bench, however, not so great. Nobody really popped off for me this week. think my highest point scorer was 22. And hey, you know what? I had some points on the bench. My fault. Big loss. Still 3-1. Still looks like I'm going to be number 2 overall. But still, bad week. Bad beat. And moving up one spot this week, despite a loss, is going to be Team Girly Fry. Yes, they got a loss, but they actually had a very solid outing. A lot of good, strong players. Took a 0 at the tight end. Not really sure what that's about, but basically just got run into the modus operandi steamroller this week. There was nothing you could have done. So that's going to be 1 loss. Take it on the chin. Still 3-1. Okay, and with that Monday Night Football game coming to a close, that's going to bring this week to an end. We've got 2 more teams to rank out. What a finish. We've got Prestige Worldwide and Team Cinderella going to town. It's a 1-point victory for Prestige Worldwide right down the center to take over first place in the overall standings. But how do they come out in the power rankings? Drum roll. At 2, we're going to have Team Cinderella. Still a great outing. Left a lot of points on the bench. Could have been a 200-point game easily. Cooper Kupp on the bench. Started the wrong QB. Who would have known I would have started Drew Brees too. Then again, I lost. Still a very tough team. It's going to be actually falling to 3rd in the overall standings because you are... Not only did you lose by 1 point to Prestige Worldwide, but you are going to fall by 1 point to 3rd because Crimea Rivers is beating you by 1 point in the overall standings. So great effort, a lot of fun, but unfortunately just came up a little bit short this week. You're going to fall to number 2. Nothing crazy in the power rankings, of course. And that, of course, leaves our new overall, not just in the power rankings, but also in the overall standings. We're going to have Prestige Worldwide. It's a good team. Wasn't their strongest outing. Also left some points on the bench. But we're looking at top overall points scored in the league. But it's starting to widen that margin out by about 20-25 points now. I haven't done the math. I'll do the math tomorrow. But definitely starting to widen that gap. Had a great game today. Nail biter. Good stuff. So, yeah. Again, if you agree with my rankings, remember these are the power rankings, not the overall standings. If you guys want me to do a separate video explaining the overall standings, I'm happy to do so. It's something I was going to start doing in a new series in a couple of weeks called Playoff Watch. But we're not there yet. Right now it's still the first half of our season, so everybody's still in it. Oh, by the way, side note, I just wanted to give one more shout out to Kyle Berry. And Master Dactyls. That was close as well. You put up a good fight. You might know this, but I filmed yours yesterday, expecting you to lose. I guess I was right, but you made a believer out of me for a second. All right, great job, everybody. We'll see you next week. Don't forget, waivers go in tomorrow.